Today we're looking at proof for a global flood as described in the Bible. Genesis 7:11 reads, "In the 600th year of Noah's life, on the 17th day of the second month, on that day all the springs of the great deep burst forth, and the floodgates of the heavens were opened." Some of you may know the account as described in the Bible. However, I'm sure if you're like me, you've wondered, is there really any proof to prove that this could have been a global flood? After watching today's video, I hope that you will have a better understanding of the scientific evidence to prove this global flood.
Fossils serve as strong indications of a worldwide flood, particularly in instances where numerous fossils are discovered in one location. It is uncommon to find marine organisms like fish, clams, and corals fossilized on the sea floor. Instead, they are typically found in sedimentary rocks on land. Many fossils are found on extreme heights in the Himalayan mountains. Some were even found on Mount Everest in 1922 at a height of 8,200 meters. This occurrence could only happen if ocean waters completely covered the continents, which is in line with what is depicted in the Bible about the worldwide flood. Fossils are not the only widespread proof that supports the Genesis account for the worldwide flood. Across the globe, there are sedimentary rock formations that were created due to the catastrophic flood conditions. These formations can be found in vast areas on every continent. Some of these sedimentary layers can be tracked across continents and even between continents. The folding of sedimentary rock without cracking or heating, as you can see at this beach in Auckland, New Zealand, indicates that the folding took place before the sand and mud had a chance to solidify into stone. The common explanation is that under the pressure and heat, the hardened layers were bent so slowly that they behaved as though they were plastic and did not break. However, pressure and heat would have caused detectable changes in the textures and minerals in these rocks. But we don't observe any signs of this. The only logical conclusion is that this whole sequence of strata was laid down in rapid succession while the sediments were still soft. It is believed by Christians that the earth today is very different to what it was before the flood. A lot of water from the Great Flood is now sitting in our oceans. 71% of Earth's surface is water. But where did the other 29% come from to cover even the tallest mountains in Genesis 7 verse 19? It is possible that the fountains of the great deep described in Genesis 7:11 could be water from within Earth's mantle exploding out. Scientists have long been speculating the existence of H2O deep within the Earth. Researchers Brandon and Steve were the first to provide evidence for this. Using vast amounts of seismic data from the US array, they were able to find proof that there may be substantial amounts of H2O trapped between the upper and lower mantles in a layer called the transition zone. The water isn't found in its form like we all know it. However, it is found in its fourth form trapped within ringwoodite. The fourth form of water is called tunneling. Water is changed into the state when put under extreme pressure, forcing itself into tiny spaces. Scientists have found ringwoodite from this transition zone with water in its tunneling form. This research is still ongoing. However, at this stage, it is estimated that if just 1% of the weight of mantle rock located in the transition zone is H2O, that would be equivalent to nearly 3 times the amount of water in our oceans. More evidence to suggest a global flood is the massive ripples seen all over the globe. The ripples look just like the ones we find on the ocean floor or on any beach. As you can see here in the Sahara Desert, these ripples can be seen from space. Some of the tallest ripples reach nearly 180 meters. When we look at them from a satellite, you can see that they were obviously caused by water flowing or draining over the now Sahara Desert. Some will argue that these ripples are caused by wind erosion, but if you look at the most windy places on Earth, there is no sign of ripples like this. Jimmy on the channel Bright Insight explains this really well, and I'll link his video in the description below because he explains it really well. I hope that this video has given you a better understanding of the scientific evidence there is to support the idea of a global flood.
As always, I will be adding links in the description for the sources of the information I got for the video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'd love to hear your opinion and see what you think. My intention isn't to force this idea on you. I just want to give you the evidence, the scientific evidence, and then you can decide. Tell me what you think.